people.
Hi! Hi, welcome to Tardis Wiki Roulette. Felicia asked me to show you her table runner. So that's how we're going to start today's show. I don't know where it is. Oh well. It's on the couch near Luna. Where is it? Okay. There you go. This is Felicia's table runner. She made it all on her own. Isn't it absolutely stunning? Anyway. Now on to spinning the wheel. There you go.
Thanks.
You're very welcome, my love.
Fantastic.
We have lost a viewer. We had 5, now there are 4. Among Us, how do you do, fellow kids? I was promised lighting. Where's the lighting? The lighting is here. It's just very subtle. Ryan, are you Sigma? I don't know what that means. Probably though. Let's see. Oh, there you all are. Hello, everyone. I see you all popping back in. Right. What do I need to add to the wheel again? I'm Omega. Matte bronzer, facial wipes, panda in Rwanda. Oh, that's really good. I really like that. That's good. Facial wipes. No, dentist, the church on Ruby Road. Panda in Rwanda illustration. Oof. Okay. Who's still posting Among Us videos in 2024? That sounds a bit sus. That's the Among Us joke, isn't it? It's saying that everything is sus. I don't know. I didn't play Among Us. I never played Among Us, and I will probably never play Among Us. Was it good? I don't know if it was good, because I've never played it, and I never will. Was it good? Do you ever dream about being an ambulance? Every day I dream about being an ambulance. Do you ever dream about being in Rwanda? Sometimes, yes. I played it when I was trending and before the brain rot was created. Ah! That's usually a very small window of time with any big trend. I'm very impressed by that. I think that we should probably give the wheel a little spin just to kind of start the day off, you know. Let's do that. Oh, it's so quiet. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. Oh dear, what a start. What a start. Oh my goodness. I will just remove that really quickly and then add it to the thing. There we go. Because this is not a page. It is a page. Oh crap, Poppy's playtime. Whoa, masturbation. Well, we're off to a very classy start here on Tardis Wiki Roulette. So like that's good. I'm pretty sure we've done this one before and it's now off the wheel. So that's good. Let's spin the wheel again. I'll read the article. There you go. There you go. I know this is what you all came here for. Oh god. I just realized what I said. Karis Fletcher believed that all Eddie Gwynn wanted to do was come, and it's from the Sex Gas episode of Torchwood, because of course it is. Alright. I sure did come here for this. Well, I mean, because I am coming, Optimus Prime. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's spin the wheel again. Oh, what a start to the day.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah! That's how it should go. Fantastic. We're partying now. Oh, God. What a day. Aren't you coming back, any Doctor Who companions? Does John Brown have a fucking TARDIS Wiki page? I hope he has a TARDIS Wiki page. Let's find out if John Brown has it. No, it's a very different John Brown, it seems. Oh dear. Come with me, Oh God. I feel like this lighting isn't right for the wheel. Let me try something. Right. That's just magenta. Try. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. What else can I do? See what else I can. Ooh, you can't see it, but it's all Christmassy. Oh, you can see a little bit of the reflection. What about that? Oh my God, that's fucking crazy. All of these are very Christmassy. Hold on. I'll do something proper and appropriate for the next wheel spin. There we go. There we go. Or and that, and one of those, and now we are classy again. Right, here we go. Come on, the meat, Dr. 14. All right. John Brown was a servant of Queen Victoria. When the Vral arrived on Earth, his quick actions saved the Queen's life. On Flat Home, the voice said that Victoria was unable to forget the touch of a particular Scotsman. Flustered, she claimed it was gossip and entirely untrue. This John Brown. This is a completely different John Brown. This is not the John Brown that did nothing wrong. This is the John Brown that fucked the Queen. Which, I guess, also did nothing wrong. Cock to who? Fantastic. Fantastic. We're off to a rip-roaring start here on TARDIS Wiki Roulette. He was played by William Dysart in the BBC television series Edward VII. Who was he in classic Doctor Who? Let's see. He was in 2 Doctor Who television stories, The Highlanders and The Ambassadors of Deef. Okay. Masturbation Who? I feel like this is becoming a bit obtuse. This is supposed to be a family-friendly show. Too many John Browns. I think we need lots more John Browns. We need to have a John Brown farm. All these Scotsmen who fucked the Queen. Let's insert not safe for work word who. Zygon when being you just isn't enough. Alright, I'm gonna spin the wheel again, if you're all ready. I certainly am. Let's go! Ooh. Panda in Rwanda. Illustration. Fucking great. It's just a normal day here at TARDIS Wiki Roulette. Oh dear. Okay. There we go. Have we done the page? The what? Hang on. Can't read chat yet. 1 second. Have we done the page for the sequel? There's 70 plus John Browns. Panda in Rwanda was an illustration by Paul Mars published on his Blue Sky profile. This is new. Panda appears in a poster for Panda in Rwanda where he can be seen floating over Rwanda while holding an umbrella and a suitcase and asking, "What the fuck?" The tagline for Panda in Rwanda reads, "A little bear goes a long way." Panda's suitcase reads, "Fuck off." Panda in Rwanda will be in cinemas on 8th of November. The parrot can be seen. Really funny. The illustration was based upon a poster for the Paddington Bear film Paddington in Peru, with Panda on the place of the titular character. Several parts of the illustration were lifted directly from the poster. Paddington's right knee is still visible in the illustration. Is it? Where is his right knee? I can't see it. Well. Let's see. The illustration references the Rwanda asylum plan of the British government, which would have deported immigrants to Rwanda, as well as Paddington Bear's status as an illegal immigrant. Okay, let's spin the wheel. That's a quality page, I have to say. Right, time to spin the wheel.
Yeah, baby.
Where was the panda during the Nuremberg trials? Chicken otter soup. Great. Oh, what are you doing? Really? Maybe a drink? Oh. Yes. Okay. Oh. Incredible. Mars' new panda lore is certainly something, mostly because he's being used as a vessel for otherwise unrelated satire. Okie dokie. See here. Chicken otter soup. Or the noodle. The macra isn't real. Okay, chicken otter soup was a canned soup product created by the Noodle Man, consisting of liquidized parts of a person, namely otter in his skeleton form, mixed with chicken broth. The cans featured an image of a skull and were partial to speaking, yelling, screaming, and shaking. The Noodle Man said the product was a source of calcium. The Noodle Man first created the soup after Auteur appeared in Hollywood in 1960 to warn Marilyn Monroe to stop making her film Let's Make Love. The Noodle Man turned Let's Make Love into a commercial directed by himself called Pasta in Paris. He used Monroe to try and sell the cans of the soup, stating that selling noodles was now a little last week and that his motive was capitalism. He made a stagehand consume the contents of a can. The stagehand found that chicken otter soup contained pieces of bone. As a result, he lost all of his teeth and burst his carotid artery. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. We don't hear enough about what's going on in Syria. And like media and stuff. That's all I'll say on it, because this is a show for escapism, but it is pretty fucked. So, those poor people. Anyway, let's spin this wheel again and try to forget the fact that we live on a rock that's on fire. Yeah. Alan, be a cell for our pain, please.
Yeah, baby.
There we go. This will keep the existential dread at bay for a little while. Let's take a look at the 14th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. It's a good one. Also, hot damn the total differences between our messages. That's part of Tardis Wiki Roulette. You know what I mean? There was a lot of intricate details published about its components. Oh wow! So let's take a look. That's typical. That's typical Russell T Davis, isn't it? Like, all this stuff here, that's not important. All that stuff that I know you care about and love from like the past, that's not important. But how this toy works. Oh, you need to care about that. You have to understand I'm very clever. A sonic screwdriver was owned by the 14th Doctor, which had similar design elements to previous models. You know, the name Rusty D, it takes on a lot more meaning now than it used to. We used to call him old Rusty. Yet the 15th Doctor, Sonic, has none of this level of detail because he's black. You know it's true. The wide area dispersal petals and the resonator cage were similar to the 11th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. The handle was similar to the 9th and 10th Doctor's sonic screwdriver, which was made from coral like the TARDIS. The frequency and intensity dials were similar to the Master's laser screwdriver. The cage around the central sonic cluster was similar to that of the 12th Doctor's second model. To be fair, it also looks lame, but so it's harder to talk about. It is a very interesting design, and I do not know why they felt the need to, like, make it as different as it was. Because what I always liked about the sonic screwdrivers was that you could put them in a pencil case, and that they were screwdriver-shaped. The design is wank, but at the same time, 14 did get a lot of shit that 15 didn't. I mean, 14 sonic screwdriver has superpowers. It can, like, stop bullets and shit. That's insane. I don't know. I think it should be used as little as possible. Well, he's David Tennant. I've grown on 15 Sonic, but it's a massive step down from 14's IMO. It is a massive step down from 14's. I completely agree. And, you know, you can laugh at the comment that I made. Like, you could be like, huh, you know, oh, Ryan being silly. But, I mean, it is interesting that his character options figure took so long. It's interesting that it always takes a long time when it's a character that isn't white. That's all I'm saying. The activation button also had circular Gallifreyan embossed into it, and the function access controls were located at the pommel with a hexagonal cutout at the very base. Scanning the walls of a cave to identify the technology within. This is the stuff it can do. Operating on a precise resonance to dislodge a chunk of rock from a cave ceiling. A pitch so high it was inaudible to even the Doctor with his Time Lord ears. Is that a page? Oh, why aren't Time Lord ears a page? If they wanted it to be less like a gun, they could have made it vertically activated like the classic screwdrivers. The thing is, it's nothing like a gun at all. And like, the idea of pointing the sonic screwdriver like it's a gun to kind of use as like an intimidation display, like that's just a smart survival thing to do. Why are we teaching British kids to be shit at surviving? As I always say, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I like classic Doctors more than modern Doctors. Okay, if a lunatic with a knife comes at any of the classic Doctors, they will just handle him physically with extreme prejudice. If a lunatic with a knife came at Tennant and Rose, they'd be fucked. One thing about New Who, it's very sanitized with how it treats violence, whereas classic Who was fucking not. There we go. The activation button. Is this the one I missed? The activation button also had circular Gallifreyan embossed into it, and the function access controls were located at the pommel, with a hexagonal cutout at the very base. Was that the part that I missed? Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading. I don't know, because 12 did clock that racist in the face. He did. 12 is the one exception. 12 would just handle the dude, but most of them wouldn't. 12 is always the exception to the rule. I'll tell you what, maybe 9 as well, because 9 did like do some aikido on a fucking Auton at one point. So maybe. Yeah, no, I think Doctor Who should be like physical though, because at the end of the day, it's a show about like surviving hostile environments, and I don't think that we should teach kids that. I don't think we can teach kids that you can wibbly wobbly your way out of hostile environments. I think that's like dangerously irresponsible, basically. He did use. So I noted in the actual DWU, the cage of the sonic screwdriver doesn't just evoke the 12th Doctor screwdriver, but a Dalek gunstick. Wait, so they're intentionally like, so they, wait a minute. So you're saying that RTD gave David Tennant a cool sonic screwdriver and intentionally added some like elements of a Dalek gunstick to that sonic screwdriver, and then said the sonic screwdriver is too much like a gun. He can't have a cool sonic screwdriver. Give him a fucking discount tricorder instead. Is that what happened, or you were talking about 12's one and I horribly bit the wrong end of the stick? I feel like they should be physical only when necessary, or have the companion be more physical like Ace. I agree. Here's the thing about the 7th Doctor though, Kako Queen, right? The 7th Doctor was never ever physical except when he was, and whenever he was, it was like he was overwhelmingly dominant with it. And the two examples I will give is the one in Survival, when the fucking big alpha male like fitness instructor dude, the like crazy survivalist dude, the Doctor just like puts him down with a finger poke. And the other one is when he fights a fucking knight in plate armor and fucking twists him around so he's gonna cut off his own head with a sword like it's nothing. Yeah, the Doctor's like a badass. I don't know, they used to be. I want Shooty to be able to just like lay out a fall. I want them to let him do that. Read the quote, Ryan. Where's the quote? Where is the quote? I don't see the quote. Is it here? In the chat? Oh, okay. Let me see. Where is the quote? In retrospect, the cage of the sonic screwdriver doesn't just evoke the 12th Doctor screwdriver, but a Dalek gunstick. Is that the quote you mean? Shooty should have clocked Lindsay Pepperbean in the face. I agree. No, the 14th Doctor one. Which 14th Doctor one? I can't see it. Craig posted a quote. Okay, I'm looking. Craig made a joke. I mean, this is a lot of dead air for the joke, so it better be good. Better be like the funniest thing I'd ever fucking heard at this point. I can't see it anywhere. Keep getting 14th Doctor, ouch, my Time Lord ears are ringing. There you go, I read the quote. You tried. Okay. This coffee is delicious. Some of the design choices of the Sonic screwdriver were Easter eggs, as revealed by props maker Michael Van Kesteren and Barry Jones. Some of the out of universe details include the frequency and intensity dials portion of the Sonic contained a ball detent ratchet, as Phil Sims wanted knurled detail on the Sonic, so the dials, when turned, made a clicking noise. Don't quit your day job, Craig. Oh dear. I saw that Big Finish started on Blue Sky now, so that's good. Do I need to be on Blue Sky? Do I like need to get on there? Because all I did was get off Twitter. Like, do I need to like be on Blue Sky as well? Or can I like safely ignore it? Because being on Twitter never ever 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 once had a positive influence on the views of my YouTube channel. Like, I don't know if Blue Sky is going to be better. It looks great. Well, I mean, I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I do not like Twitter anymore, though. Being off of Twitter has been really, really good for me. So, I mean, maybe I'll just not bother. Because, like, most of the... Even though we have social media for Something Blue, most of the views I get for Something Blue come from inside YouTube. Because, I mean, titles and thumbnails. My title and thumbnail game is impeccable, if I may say so myself. And we make good videos. So, I've never really felt a need to, like, expand that far into social media. And I could go into a lot about why it's actually not beneficial to do that anyway. But, I just wonder if it would be worth even kind of doing. Maybe for my Twitch, it might be worth. By the way, follow Wild Magic on Twitch. I'm going to be playing Baldur's Gate tonight. You should come hang out. It's going to be a couple hours after this stream ends. Hang on. There. If this stream gets 10 likes, Ryan will say brain rot slang words. If my Twitch gets 15 followers, I have 10 right now, then I will say brain rot slang words. I will say all of them. Just type them in the chat. There you go. I'm incentivizing you. So follow my Twitch, and I will say brain rot slang words. And I know I recognize some of them, so I won't read them out. You won't trick me into reading them out. You're doing yeah. Najawin is doing their part. Yeah, that is true. That is true. See you tonight, by the way. You can catch Pokemon. I have a Pokemon game on my Twitch stream. You can like play that. You can play. I think it's called Everbird or something. Let me find out really quickly. It is called Embervale. You can play Embervale on my Twitch stream as well. It's pretty good. Thank you for always being there, Naja, indeed. I'm not saying it. You have to follow the Twitch first. Don't try and trick me, because you know I read all the comments. I'm not going to read the ones I can see Gen Z shit on. I literally don't just run it in the back. Hey, you also catch Pokemon. We talk sometimes on there. I feel like a Sigma male, Ryan Sinclair. There is Heist, Gamble, 8-Ball Pokemon game at end. That's true. There's a lot of games you can play on there. You should definitely follow my Twitch. You would be helping me out a lot if you do follow, so I would appreciate it. And if that bothers you, think about it this way. At least I'm not asking you for money. Today. I'm gonna spin the wheel. I'm gonna do that. I might have said one earlier, but if you want me to like fully dig in and do like a bit, then you know what you need to do. Follow my fucking Twitch. Does following help if you don't show up? Yes, it does actually help. You don't have to actually show up to the streams. You can just follow me. That still helps. I need 50 followers and 3 average viewers, and I already almost have 3 average viewers. So please just follow. That's all I need. Go right ahead. And now I'm going to read some more stuff about the 14th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver. And if I do see that number hit 15 by the end of the stream, I will do the routine. I will read out something that you asked me to read. And you can make it as meaty as you want. The hexagonal indentation in the pommel was designed to fit an ordinary screwdriver head. Oh, that's cool. I really like that. That's cool as hell. I love the idea of, like, the sonic screwdriver having a thing that makes it work as a regular screwdriver too. I'm not reading it. I like Riz though. I use Riz. I think Riz is a great one. I think that's great. I think that's top quality slang. Heyo, Jam Jam. Jam Jam, we're doing a little challenge. If I can get 15 followers on my Twitch, the link is up the top, then I will say a bunch of Gen Z words at the end of this stream. Or when I get 15 followers. Whichever one happens sooner. I will not if it gets 9 likes. Not this time. Not this time. Welcome back though, Jam Jam. Good to see ya. Right, let's have a look. Let's read another one. The cage around the central sonic cluster resembles a Dalek's gun stick and was meant to be a reference to Rusty the Dalek's "You would make a good Dalek" line spoken to the 12th Doctor. The line itself originated even earlier, spoken by the Metaltron to the 9th Doctor. That the crackled coral effect on the screwdriver, like 9 and 10's, was Raku. What's Raku? I want to know what Raku is now. I want to learn a real fact, not a TARDIS fact. Alright, so Raku ware is a type of Japanese pottery traditionally used in Japanese tea ceremonies. Most often in the form of... Oh yeah, it's like the gold, pouring gold in to like repair stuff thing, right? I'm just going to ignorantly assume it's that and go back to the TARDIS Wiki. Boring. Where's Doctor Who? This page should have faction paradox. Could you imagine if they put a faction paradox reference on the sonic screwdriver? Cookie Boy, thank you so much. You are an absolute legend. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Wen. Raku faction paradox. To be fair, you know those like you know, like one of those bone masks that the faction paradox guys wear? I think those would look sick if they had like a bit of like Raku on them. Time Raku! I think that would look cool. If streams gets 8 likes, Ryan will spread misinformation. You don't need to show up during streams. You just following helps me out enough, and I will love you forever for it. I promise. And it also goes towards today's challenge as well. I appreciate it though, Cookie Boy. Really, really I do. Ryan, please spread lies about your fellow creators. I heard, right, you know Mr. TARDIS? I heard that he's an absolute bastard to reptiles. That's what I heard. If he sees a lizard, he's just gonna kick it as hard as he fucking can. There you go, I gave you that one for free. I heard that Council of Geeks is bigoted towards ancient Mesopotamians. She's Mesopotamophobic. Did you know 60% of households can't afford a $600 emergency expense? That isn't misinformation, that's just true. That is true. That's not. I didn't say I would spread information. Why are you coming to this stream for that? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Source my fucking eyes and ears. What are your thoughts on Chinese people? They're people. What the fuck? What are your thoughts on Chinese people? The median household has 2k in savings. Median is not the same thing as average. Shall we spin the wheel? Yes, we shall. Yes, we shall. I think we should. I think we should. I almost got sidetracked by Najawin and his ways. Let's spin the wheel. The Doctor, fictional character. Yes, let's look that one up. The Doctor, fictional character. Mr. Beast hates Doctor Who. Ryan, do you like the gays? You've never asked if I like. I love the gays. The gays are wonderful people. Gays are great. Switch to the wiki, my dude. Yes. The Doctor, also known as Doctor Who, and Doctor Who was the eponymous fictional depiction of the Doctor. You love the gays, and kind of gay, not gonna lie. It has been said before. So yeah, middle is not the same as average, because like it like you think about like the richest person in the world, and then you think about the poorest person in the world. Okay, like the average person does not have a middling amount of money between the richest person and the poorest person. The average person doesn't have like $2 billion. The new Ryan ain't the same as the old Ryan. The Doctor, also known as Doctor Who. I already read that bit. I already read that bit. I think it's funny because like my folks aren't the biggest fan of the gays, and they message me and they're like, "Do you still like the gays?" I'm like, "They my audience." The fuck am I supposed to do? Nah, for real, like for real, like this channel supports LGBT rights. This channel's like what's the word? Affiliate stream, I guess, is also supports LGBT rights. Trans rights matter, trans lives matter, and if that is a problem, then fucking subscribe to someone else. Very hard line on that, actually. The woke nightmare will end. Thank God for Graham O'Brien and his bus driver friend. To be fair, Graham O'Brien does seem a little bit like he would watch GB News, but he'd just be kind of sly about it. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm a classical liberal, me. I'm a classical liberal." That's what Graham O'Brien seems like he'd be like. Some accounts stated that the real Doctor himself starred in the television series. According to the Dalek Survival Guide, Doctor Who was a documentary series first broadcast in 1963, which was devised to alert the general public to the various alien dangers they faced, while at the same time serving as a dramatized biography of the central character, the Doctor. I imagine Graham may have trouble breaking old ways, but is generally well-meaning. That's what I'm saying. No, the people who are like, "Oh, I'm a classical liberal, I'm a classical liberal," they're the ones who've gaslit themselves into believing they're being good people by doing it. That's the sort of person I'm saying Graham is. The Dalek Survival Guide is true. Ignore the woke BBC gaslighting propaganda. Oh dear. The Doctor, however, was not the only fictional depiction of his namesake in Earth's popular culture, with similar characters such as Doctor Who and Doctor Who existing in theatrical motion pictures. Coincidentally, both of these separate characters were portrayed by veteran actor Peter Cushing. According to Penelope Creighton Ward, Peter Cushing's portrayal of Doctor Who was in lieu of William Hartnell's portrayal for this series. He wasn't able to return due to a busy schedule. Other notably similar characters include Professor X, Dr. X, and the Time Surgeon. The Doctor was portrayed by many English actors, including William Hartnell, Tom Baker, Colin Baker, Matt Smith, Paul McGann, and Peter Capaldi. Whilst originally referred to as Doctor Who and Doctor Who interchangeably, with the name even being used on certain merchandise, the character was more commonly referred to as the Doctor. Despite this, the version of the Doctor that existed but inside David Carpagnon's imagination claimed that he was not allowed to refer to himself as Doctor Who. David also knew some of the aliases of the Doctor, such as the Carfarak Gatri, the Oncoming Storm, the Bringer of Darkness, and the Imp of the Pandorica, and the final victor of the Time War. That's Lady Penelope from Thunderbirds. Why the fucking course it is. I tell you what, Carco Queen, you make that joke, but there's a lot of people who right now would say that about old Benny Shapiro. There's a lot of people who are starting to move to that side of the aisle. He's getting pushed out real fast. Read the history section start. It is something. Doctor Who is a great name for the character. In the early 1960s, Winston Churchill contracted a friend of his, Mr. Newman, to propose the idea of a television series based off of Churchill's old friend, the Doctor. What the fuck? That's insane. In the late 1990s, an older man and a boy commented at a film studio in London that Paul McGann was sexy and they wanted to shag him. In 2008, Paul Mars worked on various scripts for Doctor Who CDs, which once completed would require Paul to travel to London and help with the production, where he got to meet Tom Baker. Peter Capaldi was cast as the 12th Doctor in 2013, where he attended a meeting with Stephen Moffat. Capaldi prepared for this meeting by reading issues of DWM. Later, he wrote a letter to the readers of DWM, writing about his more than positive opinions of the magazine. John Lucarotti was once visited by the First Doctor while he was dining in France. John believed the Doctor wasn't real and that the version of the Doctor that was present was just a figment of his imagination. Originally, Doctor Who himself apparently starred in the television series. After seeing Doctor Who's adventures on television, Monica Buttons and Cuthbert arrived at the studio to attempt to accept his autograph, but the plan went awry when the guard chased them into Doctor Who's TARDIS. In 1974, Planet of the Spiders was broadcast, portraying the regeneration of the Third Doctor into his next incarnation, the Fourth Doctor. I'm gay, but I shag Paul McGann too. I'm straight, mostly, and I'd shag Paul McGann. The lock screen of Colin Baker's iPad showed a picture of the Sixth Doctor and Perry. In the late 1990s, an unspecified incarnation of the character was portrayed by Paul McGann in the Doctor Who TV movie. An episode of Doctor Who featured another unspecified incarnation of the Doctor who told his female companion that the bell meant bad wolf. He elaborated by saying it was the end of the universe. An unspecified incarnation of the Doctor was portrayed by Matt Smith in Doctor Who and appeared in at least one episode of the show, which featured on a screen during Red Nose Day 2013 when the 11th Doctor appeared on stage. It's a great image there, I have to say. Get my suggestion? The Stranger. I will get the Stranger, yes. I will get the Stranger. I'm gonna tell you a hot take of mine. Speaking of Paul McGann, I have a hot take about Paul McGann. Not about the man himself. He seems mostly lovely. I think a lot of new Who fans who try to like act like they're big classic Who fans for like hipster cred, and there's a lot of them that do this, okay? I think that a lot of new Who fans who say that the Eighth Doctor is their favourite, okay? They don't actually think that. Matt Smith or David Tennant is their favourite, okay? However, they know that he has some hipster cred because he's the Big Finish Audio's one, so he's the one that's kind of underground and a bit like out there and a bit like, ooh, you must have good, clever opinions if you think that. He's like there, but also he's kind of a classic Doctor. However, he's also hot, and that's the thing that's really important to these people. That's a hot take of mine. Human cop. I do that with 12. Oh, that's funny. Human culture subconsciously assigned it. What? I like the Eighth Doctor, but I've watched only random scatter parts of his classic era. I have a middling opinion of the Eighth Doctor. It's great, but he's never been my favourite. He's with 10 as being a bit too bog standard for me. Yeah, I feel like with 8, there's never really been a consistent consensus on what 8's personality actually is. Because sometimes he is just like, he's just sexy Fourth Doctor, basically. And that's like his standard kind of operating procedure, is just a really, really standard Edwardian, Victorian, like, gentleman sci-fi adventurer. And I think it's created a lot of the stereotype that that's just what Doctor Who is, basically. And then there's the 8 of the EDAs, where he starts out getting amnesia every single book because the writers could not decide on a direction to take this Doctor, and then he becomes this incredibly well-defined, really, really kind of sensitive and human portrayal of the Doctor. And then we lost that forever. We got the Big Finish 8. I like what I've read of the late EDA 8 is really good. It's very edgy, but in like a good way. I do dislike how he introduced the sex appeal to the Doctor. I always imagined them as Arrow Ace. I can see that. I think it shifts a little bit. It shifts a little bit to different places on, like, I guess the Kinsey scale, depending on which incarnation it is. I think it kind of moves around a little bit, basically. But generally, Arrow Ace would be like a default for like most Doctors. That's my headcanon. That's my headcanon with the Doctor. Now I am entirely on a different side of that opinion. What's your opinion on it? Well, like I say, I think it depends. I do think that 2 through 4 definitely fucked, though. And I think that 5, 6, and 7 definitely fucking didn't. That's kind of where I am, I think, on each of their inclinations. 1 through 4. 8 canonically did. Well, there we go. What about 1 through 4, Xavier? Elaborate on your feelings about that? Because, like, in my opinion, like, obviously 1 has fucking grandkids, okay? I firmly subscribe to the Twaimy camp. I've argued with fucking Fraser Hines about that. 3 is just free. No, free definitely. Free was the first Doctor to actually go out clubbing and like hooking up and shit. Because, I mean, he lived on Earth during the 70s, and his incarnation was very, very, very much subconsciously informed, either by him or by the Time Lords, to thrive and survive in that era. So, you know, we see 1 past his prime. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Twaimy is definitely canon. 2 and Jamie were boyfriends. You can't tell me any different. The water, well, I'll put the water incident on. I know what that's about. I think 5 was definitely a romantic, though. I mean, the 4th Doctor had a girlfriend. They were about as explicit about that as they could, without actually showing them like kissing and shit. Like, Twamey is the only Doctor and companionship I like. I kind of like 12 and Clara because they have such an equal power dynamic. The power dynamic thing is usually the thing that puts me off most Doctor Who companion things. I like 12 Clara equal. Yeah, I mean, yes. I think that he had I think that he has a lot of pass on Ace, because Ace is very much portrayed as the Doctor's kid. 5 wasn't a romantic, he just had no wrist. Which is also weird, because then in the books, doesn't Ace, like, rack up a crazy body count or some shit? Okay, but that wasn't the intention of those stories. That don't, like, act like it matters to you any other time. What's going on? I think the Prime Computer ads were clear. Yes, they were. 7 and Ace is disgusting. I agree, it is, because 7 is Ace's dad. I completely agree, it's disgusting. Like, there's some companions where it is gross, because, like, the Doctor is clearly, like, a parental figure to them. Like, 12 and Bill really have that relationship. Like, I don't know. 12 is, like, Bill's space dad. And, like, that's kind of what makes the whole thing work. It would all fall apart otherwise. I feel that way about 5 and Adric as well. Like, 5 is Adric's, like, dad. It's like, 5 and Adric, I feel like their relationship is like, the Doctor has a kid they didn't want. Basically. I speak in reference to how people get uppity about sticking to the intent of the original episodes with the Doctor's sexuality and gender, but doesn't give a fuck when it comes to other retcons. I mean, for me, I think that the original idea of the Doctor's, like, approach to sexuality and gender is rooted in patriarchal 1960s pre-sexual revolution values, and I don't think that we should be defending it on the basis that it's always been that way, so it should always stay that way. I think that people should be allowed to kind of interpret stuff like that how they want to. On the other hand, 12 Nardo and Nardo Bill both work. Nardo Bill does not work, but 12 Nardo absolutely works. The idea of like the aristocrat fucking the butler, that's fine. Let's go for it. And it's interesting because I feel like with that, the power dynamics kind of neutralize themselves out. Because yes, obviously the aristocrat is like higher up in the social ladder than the butler is, but the butler is like responsible for whether the aristocrat lives or dies. So it kind of evens out in a way. People happily pretend the Doctor was a Time Lord since 1963, but the Doctor having non-heterosexual tendencies is far too far for them. Yeah. Oh, I agree with that, Xavier. Bill and Rose Tyler, I can kind of see it. I can see it. It's a good one. I like it because they both ended up becoming like weird time gods as well. So if you think about it, they'd actually have a lot to talk about. I don't think it would last because I think the fact that Rose viewed the Doctor as like a romantic figure from the jump, and Bill viewed them as like a paternal figure. I think that would eventually cause conflict in the relationship, and I think that Bill would be able to reconcile it, but Rose wouldn't, and that would eventually lead to them breaking up, but probably being amicable about it. There you go. Rose is quite a bit too straight. IMHO, she doesn't give off any sapphic energy. Yeah, that's true. I can't see it given they've literally never interacted. It's a crack ship. It's a crack ship. You can speculate based on like characterization and motive and stuff like that. You can like definitely do that. Like, we have a good enough idea of how Rose and Bill both work as characters and people. Rose had a crush on a guy when she was 14, played around with Mickey, fell in love with Jim Stone, and fell in love with the Doctor. Who's Jim Stone? It would be Doctor Who and Syl, do you like my new ship? Which Doctor? Which Doctor are you talking about, Crack Cookie? And then I'll tell you. Who's Jimmy Stone? I don't know who Jimmy Stone is. Because I'm stupid. One and Syl? No. Can't see it. Can't see it. I don't think it's enough excitement for Syl, to be frank. Alright, add Jimmy Stone to the wheel. Okay, I will add Jimmy Stone to the wheel. How about that? We'll also spin the wheel again in a minute. Okay. River Song and the First Doctor. Aww. Be interesting, wouldn't it? Syl doesn't deserve to be burdened with John Barrow. You do remember who Syl is, right? Like, I know he, like, you kind of ascribe sympathetic tendencies to him, because in a weird way, Syl is kind of cute, but he is a monster. Like, he's one of the worst people in Doctor Who. Like, easily one of the most evil characters in Doctor Who. Yeah, baby. Alan agrees. Is John Barrowman a character in Doctor Who? Transphobia. Okay. Let's see what the TARDIS Wiki has to say about transphobia. Way! God damn it! Transgender people often face violence and discrimination on the basis of being transgender, with this being prevalent on Earth in the 20th and 21st centuries. Here's good. Although according to the 7th Doctor, circumstances would improve a little by the 21st century for trans people, Eleanor Blake, a trans woman, had to hide her identity in order to survive in the 1940s due to the genocides occurring in that time. In fact, Eleanor faced violence and discrimination on account of her gender. She was surprised to find Chris Shui so accepting, noting how he didn't even blink, but also held little hope for changes to come within her lifetime. Coming as he did from the 30th century, Chris did not understand the fuss about assigned genders. Eleanor Blake first off, Eleanor Blake sounds cool. Second, I want to just say, if the Doctor is going to have, like, a companion from a timeline where, like, that person is going to, like, face discrimination in, like, their own time because of identity stuff, like being trans or being, like a person of color in a certain environment or stuff, I don't think it's fair for the Doctor to decide that they should have to go back to that. I think the Doctor should cheat time to, like, kind of make life a little bit better for them. Because otherwise, that's fucking depressing, isn't it? Syl and Hitler. Is that your... Like my ship, Ryan? No! Fuck you. I'm not doing it. Chris Shui and Syl. You think it depends, personally? I suppose. It depends on, like, circumstance and severity and stuff. But, like, in this case, like, this character is never, ever going to live to see things get better. You know what I mean? Like, if they still have family or something, it depends on how shitty the family is, I guess. Both are dictators. That is true. Right, Let's keep looking. Coming as he did from the 30th century, Chris did not understand the fuss about assigned genders, as in that era gender was not assigned at birth, but instead chosen at a special ceremony, which took place upon one's 16th birthday. Huh. As he explained to Eleanor on first finding out she was a trans woman, it seems a bit stupid and fascist to care about little stuff like that, considering the breadth of the universe and all the dangers and variety to be found therein. Eleanor went on to travel with Alpha Wheeler throughout space. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad she got to, like, escape the discrimination she faced on Earth. Love does indeed win. Cleo Proctor was kicked out of her house by her mother in 2012 when beginning her transition. Jordan Proctor took her in. Rose Noble, the transgender daughter of Donna Noble, was referred to by bullies by her dead name, such as one night when she was returning home with her mother. Although Rose attempted to act as if nothing had happened, Donna was seething about this. I respect the fact that you didn't use the dead name, by the way, whoever wrote this. This was very well handled. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, god damn it. Right, hell it is. We have a winner, hell, remove. If you had a terminal disease, would you take a cure from the future knowing that everyone else in your time period couldn't access it? Yes. Yeah, I would. And if you're saying that you wouldn't, you're lying. Or if it was for a member of your family. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Terminal diseases suck. There is an ongoing forum discussion. There we go. I didn't even have to think about that answer as well. It's not a great, it's not really that good a philosophical question, to be honest. Let's spin the wheel. What's wrong with Rose Noble? So if you took it, would you then try to give it to scientists so they can duplicate it, going against the protocols of time? Fuck yeah, I would. Fuck yeah, I would. Because who decides how the protocols of time work? Not me. Yeah, I'd give up like a shit ton of my blood if it meant they could like reverse engineer it and like cure everyone else. Hell was believed by some cultures to be the afterlife in which sinners were punished. The Doctor does. He just... Well then, fuck the Doctor. The Doctor's committed genocide before. Why the fuck should I listen to them? The Doctor has killed children before. Why would I listen to them? Oh, what? Because I want to, like, not have a horrible disease? Fuck that guy. How about that? How's that for a moral quandary? You'd end up with a story where perhaps the moral thing to do isn't what the Doctor would do, and that would make a good story. Yes, it would. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I'm just kind of riding the wave right now. Where the Doctor takes on an antagonistic role, I think that would be pretty interesting. Okay. Rose Noble's page is a matter of contention due to debate over her dead name. I think it should be down to the trans people in that group to kind of decide that, to be honest. I don't think it should be down to like us fucking idiots. That's for sure. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it should come from consensus of the community that it like affects. There's a forum thread over it. Well, that's pretty interesting. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. Personally, is like you know, it's. I'm sure it is messy. I'm sure it is. But Yeah, no, in terms of that stuff, like, you should listen to trans people. Because they're the people who are actually living from it. They're the people who have first-person insight into the situation. They're going to know better than you. As a trans person, I feel it's personally better to say she has a dead name but leave out what it actually is. Fair enough. I had my idea that it should be only in the behind-the-scenes section with a lot of warning and context beforehand instead of being plopped in the middle of her article randomly. It definitely shouldn't be haphazardly plopped in there. But yeah, no, I feel like it depends on what people want, you know? Although I hadn't had to deal with dead naming yet. Well, then you kind of divide it down to the people who have had experience with dead naming. Because that way, if you do divide it down like that, you will eventually come to a point when no one is being harmed, which should always, always, always be the prime objective of what you're trying to do. Comments here cannot be considered in the final decision. Well, I mean, I think I support what the trans women are saying. In this case, what Kako Queen is saying. I support that. I support it. If that's what it takes to not be hurt, then that's what it takes. Because it means nothing to people like me. I don't have to worry about that. I have that privilege. I want to learn about hell as well. We're going to learn about hell in a minute. Trans doctor, agree or disagree? I agree. I think it would be great to have a trans doctor. I think it would be fantastic. Let's see. Now the question I have, when you say trans doctor, do you mean a trans actor playing a doctor, but it's treated as like they're any other doctor? Or do you mean that it becomes a big part of like their story and who they are as a character? Because I agree with yes, I'm just interested to see how you would like to explore that as creators. The Doctor is canon gender fluid, that is true. We will not have that. I do wish there was a trans companion at least. Me too. Me too. I'm just saying the discussion is messy and it needs to happen in the thread. Elliot Page is one of the only non-UK actors I love as the Doctor. I can see it. In terms of non-UK actors, most of the ones that I would have been interested in playing the Doctor have kind of aged out of the role at this point. So I don't know, really. The 12th Doctor claimed not to be scared of hell as he believed it was just heaven for bad people. Hell was embedded in the minds of species like humans through religions like Christianity, the opposite afterlife being heaven. The 7th Doctor claimed there was no such place as hell. The 8th Doctor claimed that every culture in the galaxy had a concept of hell. The 12th Doctor claimed not to be scared of hell as he believed it was just heaven for bad people. Some people called the void hell. Hell was also a part of Gallifreyan mythology. In England, on the 3rd of March 1215, the 5th Doctor and his companions Tegan and Vizsla were mistaken for demons from hell. Ah, yeah, that's classic. The planet Utebedentaria came to resemble hell after an experimental dimensional probe accidentally caused a localized inversion of the space-time continuum. Rita, a Muslim, believed that a Minotaur prison ship she was trapped in was Jahannam, the Islamic version of hell. Humans compared alien life or human life altered by aliens that terrified them into being creatures from hell, while describing everything that happened to her since meeting the 9th Doctor. Jackie Tyler mentioned having creatures from the pits of hell in her living room. This is a reference to Sip Felforge Passamir. His name was Sip! When he hunted her down in 48 Bucknell House, Solomon thought the pig slave creatures that kidnapped Frank were from hell itself. Hell was often used to describe greatly unfortunate situations. Morbius described his deteriorated state as hell, and the 10th Doctor later described the last Great Time War as hell. Jack Harkness told Grant Huber that the killing in World War I battlefields like Passchendaele and the Somme was like walking into hell. Believe me, I was there. Jamie Colquhoun likewise compared the Somme to hell. Some associated hell with the devil. Winston Churchill once mentioned that if Hitler invaded hell, he would give a favourable reference to the devil. Ian Chesterton said that a sandstorm sounded like all the devils in hell were laughing. Hell was often associated with fire. The Third Doctor thought that the surface of a planet about to be destroyed by a supernova looked like the human conception of hell. Florence Finnegan told the Jadoon trying to capture her to burn in hell. The 12th Doctor wondered if the confession doll he was teleported inside was hell. Real hell. While it was a concept, hell was also a plane of existence or universe somewhere in reality that had a fiery geometry. The Scourge lived there and tortured the humans of their universe. The shadow of the Scourge. Some believe that the home universe of the Scratch Man was hell. Jason Kane spent several years in hell, described as predominantly rock while tunneling craft tunneled their way between bubbles of places that weren't rock, which would in theory be the equivalent of planets. Pretty interesting. Trans representation in who? I wish Rose was part of Shooty's TARDIS crew. Me too. I really, you know, honestly, like, right down here, I wish that Rose was, like, a second companion for Shooty. Right down here, I wish that Rose was a second companion for Shooty's Doctor. I think it would be incredible. Yeah, trans representation for, alright, for real, okay, let's just fucking unpack this for a second, okay? Number one, you get to have a new perspective on, like, a companion, okay? Number two, okay, it makes the stakes higher because, Rose is a kid, okay? Which means that you're going to get to see new sides of the Doctor, and they're going to have to work that much harder to protect her from all the different alien threats. Number three, it creates a line back to, the legacy and history of Doctor Who, because at the end of the day, Rose is a legacy character. There's so many good reasons to have Rose be a companion. Yeah, I don't know. I would love it. I would love it. I think it's a terrible, terrible shame that Russell didn't do that. Honestly, a huge misstep. A kid of a previous companion being a companion is such a good idea. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I bet she's going to get a cameo or two as well, to be honest. It's going to suck. Yeah, I think even if you just look at, even if you put the trans rep to the side a bit, there's so many other ways that Rose would make a fantastic companion. I don't know, I feel like there's a ton of potential there, and the fact that it's not being explored, like, is really sad. And yeah, it would do a lot of good for a lot of people. Shepard and Schaefer wrote a book called, oh yeah, you're talking about the TERF movement. Okay. Yes. Rose and Rose Novel. That would be weird. Also, Rose Noble is 15, so that would be very weird. Isn't she like a kid? Pretty sure she's a kid. Let's spin the wheel again. The franchise is really gay, but it needs better rep outside of the L and G. I agree. I agree. Yeah, baby. Rose is technically 16 now. Well, okay then. Random page. Sweet. So let's check that out. Check out the random page. There we go. Random page. Peter Ward played Corporal Paul Rainish in Probe. When to Die. Meanwhile, due to some weird lore about Rose Tyler, she was underage for some parts. Oh. By weird lore, do you mean gross lore? Yeah, no, that's horrific. That's really disgusting. Ooh. Let's spin the wheel and get some of that bad taste out of our mouths, yeah?
Yeah, baby.
Even Alan is disgusted by that. Is that who Jimmy Stone is? Alright, let's Clive from Rose and Graham. Jimmy Stone. Oh dear. We'll look into it. Fuck's sake. I'm looking into it now. It's time for a segment I like to call the RTD Problematic Police. Jimmy Stone was an ex-boyfriend and ex-fiance of Rose Tyler when she was either 15 or 16. Rose left her family and education, seeking a life with Jimmy before eventually they broke up, resulting in Rose resenting him for years to come. He would serve a prison sentence and was brutally killed by Autons during their attack on 5th of March 2005. Jimmy was born circa 1982! What?! That would have made him fucking 8 years older than her. Fucking hell. Oh, the band No Hot Ashes? Wasn't Mickey in that band? When Jimmy was 20, he met Rose Tyler, who was either 15 or 16. Rose fell head over heels in love with him. Rose dumped her current boyfriend, Mickey Smith, and oh my god, this has happened before! This has happened to Mickey before! Oh, dear. Alright. This is the last segment for today, however. Wow. Wow. At a certain point, you have to wonder if Mickey is into it. Yeah. Pretty awful. Oh, we're not done yet, though. He was seemingly engaged to Rose at one point. After 5 months, their relationship broke apart. Rose returned home heartbroken and £800 in debt. Meanwhile, Nicky ever travelled to Amsterdam with a woman named Noosh in a cab. Oh, it's the realest shit ever, man. I really like the woman named Noosh in a camper van detail. That's perfect. According to another account, they broke up after being together in a year, sometime in late 2003. When he left, Rose told him that he'd come to no good one day, and as he stole her second-hand computer, which he stashed inside his car. Rose later mentioned Jimmy Stone when discussing with Mickey, who was actually an Auton duplicate, mentioning that it was his fault she didn't do her A-levels. She also seemed to know that Stone ended up in a bad place. Jimmy would serve 18 months in prison, and when he got out, all he could do was sell brushes from door to door. On 5th of March, Jimmy was robbing his current girlfriend, Amina, during the Auton invasion, when he was killed by a group of Autons who chopped him up into little pieces. Autons don't do that! Autons don't chop people up into fucking little pieces. And to make it worse, if Jimmy had not done this, Rose would have passed her GCSEs, got a better job than working at Hemrick's, never done... Wait! Wait, are you saying that for Xavier, the implication there is that Rose had to get groomed for the good of the universe, which means that if the Doctor knew about this, he would do nothing. I hate this universe, man. There's something wrong with Russell T Davies. I swear to God. That's what I'm learning. More and more. The more I'm learning. He knew about Bicycle when she was 12. He definitely knew she'd been nonced by Jimmy Stone. There's no way he didn't know. There is no way. What the fuck, Doctor Who? What the fuck, Russell T Davies? I feel like, yeah, this, this, you know, since starting TardisWiki Wiki Roulette, I've, like, got less and less respect for Russell T Davies and more respect for Stephen Moffat. My opinion of Chris Chibnall is about the same. I would love to have a pint with the man. I feel like Chris Chibnall would still be the most fun to drink with out of all of them. I feel like or Violet McGuffin might have filled Bruce's role. I want to get an interview with Russell T Davies and just throw all these questions at him and see how long it takes for him to walk out. On a parallel universe, Jimmy had a son with Rosie Tyler, who she also named Jimmy. Jimmy Stone from that universe died before meeting his son. Oh my god! Oh my god! Do you want to know why he's called Jimmy Stone? By the way, do you want to know why he's called Jimmy Stone? Here's something for you. I know this because I know how Russell's fucking brain works, okay? I know why he's called Jimmy Stone. No, because there's a band from the late 80s and early 90s called the Stone Roses, and it's a reference to the Stone Roses. You have to understand, I'm very clever. That's why he's called Jimmy Stone. I fucking guarantee you that's why he's called Jimmy Stone. Also, the book, The Stone Rose. I did not know there was a book called The Stone Rose. I'm going to look up what The Stone Rose is about now. Let's look up what The Stone Rose is about. I want to peer into the mind of the Stone Rose book. No, the Stone Rose book is also a reference to the Stone Roses band. Sack Russell T Davies, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner. Sack Jane Tranter, is that the name? Okay, let's learn more about Jimmy Stone. We were down here. Legacy. Whilst attempting to ingratiate herself with a tribe of Neanderthals, Rose told an old woman and Gual that she had once been engaged. At the old woman's suggestion, Rose hoped that he had been eaten by something. In a parallel universe, Jimmy had a son with Rosie Tyler, who she named Jimmy. She also named Jimmy. Jimmy Stone from that universe died before meeting his son. Whilst Billy Piper clearly says Stones is in Rose, both the script and shooting scripts and the series 1 subtitle show Jimmy Stone named to be Stone. From this, it seems Piper's pronunciation was a blooper. Chris Hansen, why don't you take a seat over there, Mr. Davis? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think he's a regular. I definitely think that he's a bit weird about Russell Tovey. I think that stuff is very odd, and we should not look at it as like a cute little thing, like some of us do. I don't know. Right, let's see, 12 followers. Nice! Sick! Thank you to the 2 people who followed Wild Magic. Unfortunately, 12 is not 15, so you will not be getting any Gen Z talk this time. Maybe on Tuesday, we'll see. I think that Davis cares a bit less about this than most people, but isn't obsessed with it. Obsessed with what? My issue with Russell T Davis is that if we're like to break them down, for me the big issues with Russell are I think he's got I think no one tells him no anymore, and I've always felt like he's a bit rough at writing non-white characters, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know, I don't like the fact that he looked the other way at like all the sex pestery going on during his run, and like the fact that it's something that was unique to his run. I feel like we don't really look at why it was a thing that was unique to his run. We just blame John Barrowman and fucking what's his name, Noel Clarke. But the thing is, John Barrowman and Noel Clarke, who were predators, were able to operate freely in that environment, and there's a reason they were able to operate freely in that environment, and I don't think we kind of question that enough. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on the situation. Also, the 10th Doctor is shit. It's another thing, but that's not David Tennant's fault, because David Tennant is wonderful and he does a wonderful job as the 10th Doctor. He's very good at promotion and PR, so people don't look too closely at things with him. Yes, that is very true. Right, well, that is the end of the stream, I guess, and it's a very interesting note to end it on. But I still like RTD. I like RTD. That's the thing. I just have a complicated relationship with the dude, and if it turned out that he was a monster, I would be least surprised of all of the Doctor Who showrunners. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'll do the other page then. I won't leave just yet. What's the other page? Disciples of the Light. Okay, we'll do Disciples of the Light. We can do that page. Nah, Chibnall. No! Nah, Chibnall's an aggressively normal man. I don't agree with that at all. He's the human XL. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. He's a fucking... He is a fucking typical suburban dad. I mean, the dude got fucking hair plugs. He got fucking hair plugs in the middle of his tenureship as showrunner of Doctor Who, and thought that nobody would fucking notice. That's who Chris Chibnall is. And I tell you what, I might not like his fucking Doctor Who, but I love him for it. That's why I wouldn't be surprised, I guess. Oh, okay. I don't like speculating on anyone being a monster. I'm not speculating on anyone being a monster. I'm saying which one of them I would be surprised if it turned out they were a monster. I don't think any of them are, though. I think they're human beings, and like every human being has a lot of good qualities and bad qualities. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see. This is the kind of stuff you only get here, though. Like you would still be surprised, just less? Yeah. Yeah, no, I would be less surprised. I would be less surprised because I'd be like, well, there are some data points there that line up. You know what I mean? I actually think all three of them are probably, on balance, pretty decent people. I would trust Russell the least because of all the stuff with John Barrowman and Noel Clarke, but I'm also willing to kind of be like, well, it was his first TV gig of this scale, maybe he just felt like he had to. And that's entirely possible. Then again, just following orders is never that good a justification, is it? So, oh, it's complicated. It's complicated. I did struggle to find a clean version of the image on this page, as in the episode you only see parts of it in shadow. Couldn't keep his John in my... Ha! No, fuck you! Couldn't keep his John in his barrow, man. Like, if you liked my joke made by me. Yes, that completely original joke made by Cookie Boy, which totally isn't a joke that I fucking wrote. Should the Daleks come back? We've never seen them since after Power of the Doctor. Yeah, Daleks should come back. I think we need the Daleks now more than ever. I kind of wish that that Shooty's first season had just had the Daleks been the season finale villain, to be honest. The Daleks should take the good long rest. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't, because we've got fucking fascists running around everywhere. They're finally relevant again. Yeah, Dalek Mania 2024. I completely agree. Let the Daleks be what the Daleks are supposed to be. Make the Daleks great again. Daleks should go back if they go hard on the ally. Yeah, that's how I feel about it as well. RTD has never been good at writing fascist. I don't know. I think he has. I think he made the Daleks really viscerally terrifying and cool. Because I remember when I was watching Doctor Who when it first came out, all my friends got into Doctor Who through New Who, and like I was the one who watched Classic Who first, so I was kind of the one they always like consulted on. And I remember like them making fun of the Daleks before the episode Dalek coming out and being like, this stupid show is gonna fucking tank now. And then like the episode Dalek aired, and yeah. Yeah, they're the most iconic villains since the very beginning of the show. You can't just be like, well, we need to give them a rest just because they've had a lot of shit episodes recently. He just writes them as No, he doesn't! He wrote them as being driven insane by fucking cognitive dissonance in like their first appearance as season finale villains. And then in the second season finale, he basically made like a Wunderwaffen cult out of the cult of Skaro. They were meant to be like Nazi occult researchers. He absolutely understands the Daleks as an allegory for fascism. Can't disagree with you more on this one, Najawin. He just doesn't bring it to the forefront. Yeah, there we go. Dalek is a very good episode and has a very good, memorable quote from Doctor Who. That is true. Both of those are true. Hashtag bring the Daleks back. I know, and make them terrifying. You could make them... I tell you what, I tell you how you would do it. This is how I would do it, okay? This is how I would do it, okay? I'd do a story where you do like a biological weapon of some kind that has horrifying effects, and you basically present it as like this new scary, like this is the new Moffat-esque scary episode villain for like this season. This is the new like Blink / Midnight / that kind of thing. And then at the end of this fucking terrifying ordeal that all the characters go through, it turns out that it was just a Dalek weapon, and the Daleks were the real villains the whole time. That's how you do it. In terms of just upgrading them to make them like more dangerous, and also keeping with like the fascist thing, I think we should bring back the you know how in the TV movie, and I think some of the classic stuff, when the Dalek gun would fire, it would shoot like vapor out of it instead of lasers. It was like a gas weapon. I think that should come back. The Spider Daleks are interesting. I think you could do it. Because, like, the idea that the Daleks The Daleks are obsessed with purity. That's purity of their genetics, not of the design of the travel machine, which does not factor into their genetics. So you could have lots of different, like, specialized designs for Daleks. Daleks with nerve gas would be terrifying. Yes, it would, and that's why you should watch Predator of the Daleks on Something Blue Audio. That literally happens in it. You know, I think Daleks should have, like, a gas weapon of some kind. I'd give them all kinds of nifty shit. I don't know. You don't have to change their design to give them cool weapons and abilities. Having the Nazi allegories literally gassing their enemies is a step too far for a kids franchise. I don't agree. I don't agree. I think that it's not going far enough. No, I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine, to be honest. It's only hypersensitive adults that care about that shit, not kids. That's my my kind of take on that, to be honest. And I mean, yeah, they did it in the fucking 60s and the 70s and the 80s. They did it all through classic Who. The Daleks used to use chemical weapons all the time. I always think about the dude whose fucking whole face melts in, I think it's Resurrection of the Daleks, and like his hand falls off and shit. I just think that the Holocaust is something you have to take really good care with. I agree, but we're not talking about the Holocaust. We're talking about, like, you could just as easily say that's a reference to battlefield warfare. And yeah, in the 1960s, the Second World War was barely yesterday. That imagery can be really triggering for some. Disney, sorry, the Daleks is more kid friendly. I do agree that they should be well handled, but I don't think that we should be ignoring events and stuff. Like, I don't think we should be we should shy away from those things because then it becomes easier and easier to, like, repeat them. I don't know. I don't know about that one personally. Daleks need to have quality. Brian, did you see your suggestion? I'm not putting that on the wheel, though, funny enough, because YouTube will demonetize me if that pops up in big letters on my video. And I am, above all things, self-interested. The vast majority... It's very... I know it's unfortunate, but hey, I mean, I do technically work for a major corporation. Can you finish the page before you really run out of time? Yes. Should be allegorical to them rather than being literally being walking gas chambers. Would you favor then, you know, in the 1960s Dalek movies, would you favor them digitally removing the, like, gas weapons and, like, replacing them with lasers? Like, because, like, how far would you go with this? Again, the lasers are far closer to what actually happened. That is true. That is also true. The Beast Scowlers left behind a pictorial representation of his imprisonment in a form that resembled prehistoric cave paintings on Earth. Finding these wall paintings within the Beast Chamber, the 10th Doctor gleaned a history of some big battle man against Beast, which ended with the creature's imprisonment. It came to the Doctor's horror and initial disbelief when the Beast claimed that this had taken place before light and time and space and matter, before the cataclysm, before this universe was created. Indeed, the Doctor had understood that black holes were invented by his own people, the Time Lords, a claim which he had maintained after seeing to the Beast's destruction. The Diary of a Time Traveller claimed that the imprisonment of the Beast of Krop Tor happened on 27th of October. The script for the Satan Pit refers to the Disciples of Light, which became Disciples of the Light when the episode was filmed. The Satan Pit establishes both that the Time Lords invented black holes and that the Disciples imprisoned the Beast in a cosmic trap, leveraging one. If the so-called pre-universe before time, which served as the stage for the battle, was interpreted as the time before time, which predated the anchoring of the thread, the possibility thus arises that the disciples should be interpreted as the ancient Gallifreyans. However, this is not explicit within the episode. Let's see. Wheel of Names. We're not going to spin one more time. I think we're going to head off now. I do like the idea that these guys are ancient Gallifreyans. I think so as well. When the second episode of Doctor Who Ouroboros is coming out, hopefully Christmas. Hopefully Christmas. What are those videos? Why don't you watch them and find out? It's been a long one lengthwise. I know this has been a long one lengthwise, and I'm going to be streaming again at 7 o'clock my time. I'm going to be streaming again in like an hour and a bit, so I hope to see you then as well. You have over 1.5k videos on your watch later list. I know, but I recommended this one. I'll catch you later, everyone. Have a good time and like be safe and stuff, yeah? I tell you what, as well, I'll make a compromise. How about instead of the Daleks shooting gas, all lasers, what if they shot 50 cal rounds instead and people just exploded into gore when they got shot with Dalek guns? I think it would be pretty cool to see that. I'll catch you later. Bye.